Delta says, looking into getting my first car. Any big words I gotta look for in the contract that can mess me up? The worst thing you can possibly do when you enter a car dealership is say, hey, the most I can afford is $500 per month. Don't you ever, ever, ever f***ing do that. Roly Poly on TikTok says, really bad with spending. What's the best way to control yourself? Come up with a plan. Come up with a simple plan. You're gonna allow yourself to spend X% of your income on whatever you want guilt-free. So that'd be the first thing. If you're still having a hard time, remove all of your credit card, debit cards from your online accounts. Make it harder for you to go and spend money. There's this cow too. Wait, when did I get this? Which one do we use? This one is kind of like my cat. My cat's orange. Would you recommend I invest in a company's IRA savings if you don't plan on being there more than a year? The only reason I would do an IRA contribution to like an employer plan is if they had a match. If they don't have a match, then I would just open up my own IRA and do it myself, you know? Jack says, best advice for people who are about to graduate college. Get that Roth IRA set up, build a strong network, have a solid resume, solid portfolio. What are we missing? So many things, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Get that Roth IRA set up, max it out, and then just be prepared to feel some pain when you're trying to find a job. It took me almost a year to get a job after graduating college. It was painful. You're doing God's work, man. Appreciate that, dude. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we just dismissed at the perfect time. Oh, very nice. Jesse says, what's the penalty? What's the penalty for withdrawing from Roth IRA early? If you withdraw gains, not your contributions, it's a 10% penalty, and I believe there are taxes on top of that. Wyatt says, what's a Roth IRA? It is a retirement account. One of the most amazing accounts ever created. You want to be a millionaire one day? That's going to be one of the main tools at your disposal. Oh, shoot. Oh, he went for me, of course. Brandman says, should I add more financial stress to invest in Roth IRAs at a young age? Honestly, I would say balance it. Financial stress. Can you talk about that a little more? What do you mean by financial stress? If I could go back, my first part-time job working at a restaurant, Marie Callender's, bussing tables, I could have easily saved half my paycheck, invested that into a Roth IRA or whatever, spent the other half, and be happy and have a lot more money today. You know, what happens if I pull the money early? If it's a Roth IRA, you can withdraw your contributions without penalty. You just can't withdraw your gains. So if you try to withdraw any profit you make, so let's say you put in, let's say $5,000 this year, next year your account's worth, I don't know, $7,000, you can only pull out $5,000 without penalty. You know what I mean? All right, Apple user says, how did you find what career path to take? That's a really good question. I did a lot of research and I didn't know for a long time. So in high school, I thought I was gonna do like architecture, then like nuclear engineering, all sorts of stuff. And then went to community college, took some classes, talked to people, talked to a counselor, talked to friends, and I finally landed on electrical and computer engineering. So it takes time. You'll figure it out. Don't worry. Like if you're in high school, early college, don't stress out too much. That's why I really like community college. Community college, people sleep on that way too often, especially if you don't know what you want to do. Community college is the game. I'm telling you. All right, Jav says, do you know what credentials I would need to get a loan for a down payment on a $300,000 house? Okay, so you're going to need a couple ways you can go about this. The traditional way is having a good credit score, having a lot of like financial history, so paychecks, and they're going to want to see you have cash for a little while. So let's say you need to put, I don't know the exact number you're going to need for a $300,000 loan, but they're going to expect you to have some kind of down payment in cash, and they're going to expect that to be in your account for a while. So if they see that if that money just showed up out of nowhere right before you applied for the loan or whatever, they're gonna, that's gonna be sus, you know? Thoughts on crypto coins like SMX? I don't know anything about SMX. 99.9% of cryptocurrencies are gonna go to zero. Just be aware of that. So I'm a huge blockchain person. I think Bitcoin is one of the greatest pieces of technology that has ever been created, ever. Up there with like modern computing, because these technologies have the power for us to say, oh, we don't need banks, or we don't need PayPal or Venmo or all these things. So if we can disrupt all that, holy crap. Doe says, what do you think about index funds like Vanguard 500? I love index funds. I love index funds. Most day traders, most active fund managers cannot beat the S&P 500 long term. It is a fact. There's a plethora of data out there that shows you're not going to beat it. Uh-oh. Elbow. Wow, Fade freaking protected me. That was the nicest thing I've ever seen in this game. Get me out of here. Gregory says, what should someone young 20s be doing with their money? The same as pretty much everyone else. You want to save some money for emergencies, enough to cover living expenses for at least 3 months, ideally 6. If you have any high interest debt like credit cards, you got to pay those off ASAP. If you have a job and your employer offers a 401k match or some kind of retirement plan match, you want to contribute enough to get the full match, and then just invest in either a Roth IRA, or you can just contribute more to your employer retirement plan. If you just do those 2 things, those 3 things, however many that was, 3 or 4, you're going to do good long term. Delta says, looking into getting my first car. Any big words I got to look for in the contract that can mess me up? I wouldn't worry too much about the contract. I would worry about your negotiation strategy. So the worst thing you can possibly do when you enter a car dealership is say, hey, the most I can afford is $500 per month. Don't you ever do that. Ever. That is the biggest mistake you can make when you walk into a car dealership. Because now the salesperson's like, oh, sweet. Now I have my ceiling. I can just extend the loan. Instead of 3 years, I'll make it 5, 6 years. And their payment's going to be the same, but they don't know they're going to pay a ton of interest over the course of that loan. So that's number 1. Don't come in with the monthly payment. You want to come in with, hey, I see this car. The sticker price is $30,000. What can we do about that? I did my research and it shows that blah, 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 blah. $3,000 less. So do the research, obviously. Where's head level? Right here. Right here? We had to clip that one. That was funny. I thought I saw a shot coming from over here, right? Oh, baby.
Nice. Good job, Q.
Thank you. What would you recommend using a credit card on? Good question. Honestly, I would use it for essentials. The reason why I say that is because most people, they can't handle a credit card. Like, they see it as a way to just buy more stuff, you know? Use it for essentials. If you don't have the money to pay the card off within that same month, do not use credit. Please do not use it. I realize times are tough and a lot of people are relying on credit as a crutch, but we're just digging a deeper hole for ourselves. All right, Heem says, I'm trying to buy a Mustang and trade in my BMW. Gonna have to pay around 20K on top of my car. I know it's a bad financial investment, but I'm young and trying to enjoy a little. If I get a decent APR, you think it's worth it? No. How old are you and how much money do you make? I know you're young, you want to live it up, but I promise you that BMW, you're gonna get bored of it. Are you bored of your Mustang? It's not as shiny anymore. New car smells gone. The same thing's gonna happen to your BMW. And cars depreciate in value so incredibly fast. After 5 years, it's gonna lose over half of its value. So if your income justifies it, yeah, totally fine. If it doesn't, don't do it. Your future self will thank you if you put that money to work instead. You can still have fun and enjoy your life. You can keep the Mustang, travel, buy stuff for yourself, spend money on Valorant skins, whatever makes you happy, but also please invest. Please, your future self will thank you. What are the key steps individuals should take to improve their financial situation? Okay, first things first, you need to gather some data. You need to understand where your money is going. So each month you're spending money on expenses, you're spending money on Valorant skins, whatever it is, right? So you need to go and gather that information. What are you spending your money on? Put it in a spreadsheet, list it all out so you can see it. That's step 1. It's hard to make decisions when you don't have data. So everyone should do that. You don't need to budget every single penny, but you should understand what it's costing you each month to live and what you're spending on various categories. Because people always say, wow, I didn't realize how much I was spending on food. Happens every time. Every time I have someone do that exercise, they're like, wow, I'm spending that much on food? Dang, I didn't realize that. So that's step 1. Step 2, if you have any debt, any credit card debt, you want to tackle that first. You want to tackle that ASAP. Then invest in your retirement. You have a Discord. If you have questions, come on in, come join. I'm always hanging around there. A lot of cool people there. Besides that, have a good night. We'll catch you all on Thursday.